votes will be taken. In addition, no public comment is taken during this meeting. The live meeting will be streamed on the city's YouTube channel, accessible through the YouTube icon on the city's website or via the live stream. You will also have the option to listen to the meeting live via phone by calling 855-925-2801 and entering meeting code 12068. Mayor Manheimer is attending the Metro Mayor's Conference, and City Manager Deborah Campbell will not be in attendance today as well. Council and staff, when I call your name, please say a quick hello. Councilmember Bohez.
Good morning.
Good morning. Councilmember Kim Roney.
Good morning.
Councilmember Maggie Ullman.
Hey, everybody.
Councilmember Sage Turner.
Good morning.
Councilmember Shanika Smith will be joining us later. Assistant City Manager Ben Woody.
Good morning.
Assistant City Manager Jade Dundas.
Good morning.
City Attorney Brad Branham.
Good morning, everyone.
And City Clerk Maggie Burleson.
Good morning.
I'll now turn it over to Assistant City Manager Jade Dundas. Thanks, Jade.
Thank you, and good morning, everyone. Again, Jade Dundas, Assistant City Manager. Today, I'll be going over the regular agenda for December 9th for Council's agenda. We'll be covering Council committees, the Policy, Finance, and Infrastructure, which will happen earlier on December 9th. And then also the 8-week agenda. There are no other items and updates. We quickly go through as quickly as possible, go through the regular agenda. We have staff available to answer any questions that council might have. I'm going to cover some top topics that I feel are worthy of note and maybe a further discussion. But if there's anything that I don't cover, feel free to stop me and we can certainly dive into that. So again, the Tuesday's activities start out at 3:00 in the afternoon with a PFI work session, which will cover those topics later in this briefing. And then move into the regular council agenda at 5:00. There is one proclamation on the agenda, December 21st, 2025, as Evergreen Arbor Day. And then no other proclamations. And then moving into the consent agenda, some interesting topics in here. So we'll start with item B is a contract with J.R. Merriman and Company to perform service line inventory in the Shiloh community for Water Resources Department. This is just an effort to complete the inventory requirements for service lines required by the US EPA and the NCDEQ, Department of Environmental Quality. Just continuing to work through that requirement and put this information together. And this is just an area of focus at this point. Item C is returns from the last council meeting. This is the Tanger, at least with Tanger outlet. This item was referred back to the Public Safety Committee and was discussed on November 20th, 2025. Received more detailed explanation of the need for the proposed project, and the committee agreed without taking formal actions to refer the item back to full council, and it appears back on this consent agenda.
It looks like Tim has a question.
Actually, if we could back up to item B, I couldn't get the button fast
Sure.
enough. Is this part of the city's service line inventory where we're trying to identify potential lead pipes and access the funding to replace them if needed?
Yes, it is. And Bill Hart is the interim water resource director here if there's just provide any additional information.
I just had some curiosity. It seemed like this was the last leg of our research, but it would be helpful to know that now or at a future time. Maybe is there anything beyond this that's left? Because I know we're up against some funding deadlines and want to make sure that we have access to replace any issues our infrastructure problems if we can with the funding that's available.
So this is a find and replace for this area. The water lines and the age of the water lines in this area make it a really good place to start our inventory. We will be conducting an inventory between now and 2027. We're doing this in very in-depth fashion to build a probability model for what we may find through other parts of the city. And once we have kind of a better idea, we may be able to find and replace. We are looking at additional funding for what this may be. We are also talking to other municipalities all over North Carolina about how they're handling the same issues. So this is going to be nationwide, but we are partnering with people within the state, looking at the models for how we may be able to do these replacements in the future.
Thanks, Bill. That's so helpful. So this is the beginning, not the end.
Yes, this is beginning.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome.
And then regarding item C, I've been attending the West Asheville Business Association meetings and the Heart of West Asheville Business Coalition meetings. There's now 2 groups and they're very well attended, and they had a lot of concerns about this in West Asheville. And one of the concerns, I know we had a member of the WABA group come to our last council meeting and signed up to speak but didn't, because I think there was the impression that they were going to receive some outreach. So have we had an opportunity to engage the business coalitions of both West Asheville Business and Heart of West Asheville before this item's coming back to us?
I would ask interim Chief Jackie Stepp to answer those questions. Jackie.
Hey, yeah, thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. And we actually have a meeting today at 1 o'clock with WABA, West Asheville Business Association. I don't have a meeting lined up with the other group at this time. I do have a lunch scheduled next week with a member of the Iwana group in West Asheville to discuss this transition, this move.
Okay, and I followed the Public Safety Committee's conversation. Is my understanding was that it was pre-budgeted in the last cycle, so there's not a shift in the budget priorities, just that we had prepared in advance for this expenditure?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Moving on, the next item is also related to the Asheville Police Department. It is the resolution accepting a donation of a pickup truck, a trailer, and an all-terrain vehicle from the Asheville Police Foundation to the Asheville Police Department. Believe this equipment was primarily used or initially used in response and recovery efforts, but will enhance our law enforcement capabilities moving forward. So Jackie's also here if there's any questions on that.
Bo?
I have no comments. I put my hand down. Sorry.
Okay. Go ahead, Jade. Sorry.
All right. Item J is a resolution supporting the French Broad Metropolitan Planning Organization Safe Streets for Western North Carolina. This is a plan that was recently completed through the MPO, and they are asking for support from the jurisdictions involved in putting that plan together. And this will help with us with grant funding and also inform our projects, pedestrian and traffic safety projects moving forward. Ashley Hare, Director of Transportation, is here if there's any questions on that. All right, hearing none. Item M is a resolution to apply for a 2027 Unified Planning Work Program grant, again through the French Broad Metropolitan Planning Organization. This is to do a preliminary study and design, cost scoping, costing on the future improvements to Hilliard Avenue. This is a corridor that ranks high in the GAP plan. All of the streets that are above this are being actively worked on at this point. really this does help us to understand the needs and then also estimate and build an appropriate budget for our future CIP funding. Item O is a resolution authorizing the city manager to apply for NCD Department of Transportation Public Transit Apprenticeship Grant Program. This is a program that we've been involved in several times. It helps us to connect with folks that are interested in careers in transit, public transit, and take advantage of the opportunity to have those salaries grant funded, largely grant funded. There is some city contribution, but we've had some successes even recently, and have had an employee that has furthered her career in the city of Asheville. It's good news for us. And then the last item that I have highlighted is item T. And this is a resolution of the Housing Authority of the City of Asheville to adopt a resolution approving the issuance of up to $24 million multifamily housing revenue bonds. This is a requirement of the city of the IRS regulations. This is just an administrative action of the City of Asheville on behalf of the Housing Authority. That's all the highlighted items I have on the consent agenda. Are there any questions before I move on?
Council, any questions? Nope. Okay, Jay.
Okay, thank you. There are no presentations and reports and no public hearings. So there is one new business item, and that is the appointment of a member to the Planning and Zoning Commission. This was discussed at the last council meeting, and this is just the completion of that work and that discussion. So that concludes the review of the regular consent agenda. And with that, I can move on to the public finance and infrastructure agenda. It is also pretty straightforward. We have the presentation. Again, this meeting starts at 3 o'clock on the December 9th, next Tuesday. The first item is approval of the minutes. The second item is fiscal 2025 audit presentation. This is just a standard presentation to the governing body that happens every year. This will be led by Tony McDowell, and then also the consultant, audit consultant that will also help with this presentation, Cherry Beckett. Additionally, we are going to do a CIP update at this, and this is to discuss facilities investment rules. It really is about like large investment philosophy and how we need to go about really planning long term. That's kind of been a theme for capital investment and budgeting for a few years now. Walter here will lead that. Walter and Jessica Morris. Because this is specific, we're going to use the transit maintenance garage as a specific example, because it is one that we know that we need to invest in, and there are some potential opportunities for us to be able to find a location for that in our existing inventory of properties coming up in the next few years. So we'll give you a lot more details on that. And again, the initial discussion for the planning and zoning appointment will happen at or there will be an opportunity to have discussion at the PFI meeting. So that would conclude the PFI agenda. Maggie?
I'm just curious, at some point it'd be helpful to get a sense of the timeline staff is thinking about for starting to slate project ideas and goals for the massive chunk of the CDBG DR funds. I know that staff are chipping away in many departments at different buckets, and they've started to think about housing and the small business grant program, and the infrastructure is such a major component. I know there's lots of pieces to marry together across different pots, but just understanding like, when are we going to see programmatic proposals? When will council be involved in prioritization? Just anything of like what that looks like, because I know it's so massive, but I just don't really understand when we're starting, although I'm sure you've already started. So an insight to that would be really helpful.
Absolutely, that's a great topic, and we'll include some information in the follow-up, and then plan on bringing that back to council at a future PFI meeting or some other venue. Thank you for that question. If there's no question, other additional questions on PFI, we can jump right into the week look ahead. At present, on the January 13th meeting, we are going to ratify bee tree debris removal study. We are a couple of other items that we'll be hearing on next Tuesday are about debris removal at the watersheds, and that activity is going well out there. We're just really trying to work through the final paces of that work. NEP is a neighborhood enhancement program for water distribution. So it's a recognition of us needing to continue to invest in our existing distribution system as well as all of the recovery needs. There are 3 public hearings. One is a UDO amendment, and then also the other 2 are rezonings for specific properties. On January 27th, no consent items listed yet, but reports and presentation are out to Asheville Downtown Improvement District Annual Report. And then I think we've talked about this a little bit at past reviews, but there's also a public hearing for UDO amendment for accessory dwellings. So at this point, that concludes all of the items to brief on. As I'd said at the beginning, there are no other items and updates, but happy to answer any questions the council might have. And we've got staff here or get any follow-up information that you might feel like we need.
So Jade, I'm going back to the January 13th.
Sure.
What is the amendment for the waiting period for applications? Can somebody give me a broad idea of what that even is about?
Ben, I might have to ask you to step in on that one.
I think I can probably
Okay. Thanks, Brad.
do that, Jade. So that actually just is a technical amendment to reflect a change that the state legislature just recently made with regard to how long applicants have to wait if they want to refile an application in the event that council has perhaps turned down or denied a rezoning request. There used to be an obligation to wait at least 1 year before they could come back. The state legislature has rendered that null. They have said that we are not allowed to impose any waiting period whatsoever. So we're doing this purely to update our code to reflect the change in state law.
So basically, we could deny on Tuesday and then Wednesday they can come apply to be reheard?
That's exactly right.
Okay.
Without substantial change to anything.
That is exactly right.
How interesting.
Very interesting. Okay. Council, any more questions on anything else on the agenda? Is this going to be the fastest agenda briefing in the history of agenda?
Normally Deborah would bring it up, but she's not here.
I try to do my part. Okay.
Pretty light agenda.
Yeah. Okay. Without any other questions, we can adjourn and get together next week.
Thanks,
Everybody
everyone.
have a good rest of
Thank
your
you.
day.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Oh, that is right. What? Oh, that's right. We have a closed session at 9 o'clock.
Meeting at,
Yeah.
special
Thanks.
meeting at 9.
Okay.
Thanks.
Good job, Maggie.
See you tomorrow. Thanks, Maggie. You saved the day, as always. Bye, everybody.